Throughout history, a few remarkable minds looked far beyond their own time. They imagined inventions that seemed impossible, societies that felt unreal, and technologies no one else could dream of. Centuries later, their visions became the world we live in. These are the old minds that predicted our modern world. 500 years ago, Leonardo da Vinci saw what the future could be. He was more than an artist. He was an inventor, an engineer, and a dreamer. In his notebooks, he sketched helicopters, tanks, submarines, and even a robot that could move its arms. He imagined humans flying through the sky long before it was possible. Today, his ideas live on. Planes, drones, and modern machines all echo Da Vinci's imagination. He didn't just paint the Mona Lisa. He painted the blueprint of the modern world. In the 1800s, Jules Verne wrote stories that sounded like fantasy, but they turned out to be predictions. In From the Earth to the Moon, he described a spacecraft launched from Florida that carried men to the moon. 100 years later, Apollo 11 launched from almost the same place. He imagined electric submarines, deep-sea exploration, and people talking through screens. Today, we call them video calls. Verne didn't just write science fiction. He wrote science before it happened. H.G. Wells had a gift for seeing the future, both its wonders and its dangers. In 1914, he wrote The World Set Free. It described bombs powered by atomic energy. 30 years later, the first nuclear bomb became real. He also imagined a world encyclopedia, a place where all knowledge would be stored and shared. That idea became the internet. Wells showed that science could both unite and destroy. He understood what few people did, that the future would be shaped by information and power. Nikola Tesla changed the world with electricity, but his greatest vision went even further. In 1926, he said, "When wireless is perfectly applied, the whole Earth will be converted into a huge brain. We shall be able to communicate instantly, irrespective of distance." That was decades before the internet or cell phones existed. Tesla imagined global communication, data sharing, and even smart devices. Today, his dream surrounds us in every Wi-Fi signal, every phone call, every connected device. Tesla's mind lived a century ahead of his time. George Orwell didn't predict technology. He predicted how it would control us. In his novel 1984, he described a world under constant watch. A world where truth was rewritten and where Big Brother saw everything. At the time, it was fiction. Now it feels familiar. Surveillance cameras, social media tracking, governments and corporations collecting personal data. Orwell's nightmare has become part of our reality. He didn't just predict the tools. He foresaw their power over human freedom. While Orwell warned of control through fear, Aldous Huxley warned of control through pleasure. In Brave New World, written in 1932, people were engineered for their roles. They were kept happy with entertainment and comfort. No one thought, no one questioned. Today we live surrounded by screens, endless media, constant stimulation. Huxley's world of distraction is not far from ours. He showed that the future could be controlled not by pain, but by comfort. Isaac Asimov imagined robots long before they existed. He wrote stories about intelligent machines that could think, feel, and even make moral choices. He created the famous 3 laws of robotics, rules for how machines should serve humans. Today, those ideas are studied by scientists and AI researchers. Asimov's fiction became the foundation of real technology. Every time we ask if artificial intelligence can be trusted, we are asking Asimov's question. Arthur C. Clarke was both a scientist and a storyteller. In 1945, he proposed the idea of satellites orbiting Earth to relay communication signals. At that time, it was impossible. Now, it's how the entire world stays connected. He also imagined virtual reality and video calls across continents. Clarke believed that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, Today, his magic surrounds us. In 1953, Ray Bradbury published Fahrenheit 451. It warned about a society lost in screens and noise. He wrote about people wearing seashells in their ears, feeding them constant sound. He described walls turned into giant televisions. Now we wear earbuds. We stare at massive screens. Bradbury predicted not just our devices, but our disconnection. He saw how technology could isolate, even as it connects. Karl Marx studied the rise of industry in the 1800s. He saw machines replacing workers and wealth concentrating in the hands of a few. He predicted that technology would reshape economies and societies. Today, we see it everywhere, in automation, in artificial intelligence, in global trade. Marx foresaw a world driven by machines, a world where technology would define power. From Da Vinci's flying machines to Tesla's wireless dreams, from Orwell's warnings to Clark's satellites, the future was always visible to those who dared to imagine it. They looked beyond their time and saw a world before it existed. So the question now is, who among us today is already dreaming of the next century?